Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am Adelia. I am your co-host. I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, Beatrice.
That's me.
We are here to dive into the new season of Seeking Sister Wife. And it's as crazy as I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Got these crazy ass Merrifields on full display with their new woman. I've got things to say about this.
Me too.
But before we get into it, we do have to issue you a disclaimer. Please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast. We're stupid.
Yeah.
We're dumb. We're pretty. We're uncensored for the most part.
Yeah.
And we don't care.
No.
We just don't care.
Yeah.
So if you're
I don't know why you're here. This ain't for you.
You might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you're down to meet some old and new polyamorous people, these aren't polygamists.
Yeah, most of them are polyamorous.
They're polyamorous
Yeah.
people. Then welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. The VIP dumpster is where it's at. Not only do you get bonus content every single freaking month, but you also get access to our after shows that we have after the pod, which are really fun and crazy. So definitely join us over there.
And down and dirty.
So fucking
Like
dirty.
we share gossip and we talk mad shite.
Mad
So
shite.
come on over to the Patreon.
Yeah.
Now, if you are watching on YouTube, please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe and hype your girls up because we're trying to scale Mount 6,000 subscribers, and anything you do helps us to get there.
Yes.
So thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Okay, so vibe check.
Vibe check.
So any thoughts as we dive back into the monumental dysfunction of these various and sundry couples? Bitches.
Man, I was like catching up on these episodes this weekend, and I was kind of like teeter-tottering on this season of like, well, is it going to be the same old crap? Like, is it going to be good? I'm watching this shit, and I'm like, this is so beyond trashy. And I like that we're having new couples too. Like we still have the Merrifields, we still have the Davis family, which I'm actually starting to like. But like now we have these newer couples, and I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm sniffing some production stuff.
with
And so like
who?
I feel like it's just a little bit too much production. I wish production would let the people be who they truly are.
Sure, yeah.
And that kind of takes us back to Teresa, the newest member of the Davis family. And we did talk about this in a previous episode, but she apparently came out on a pod and said that she was an actual ass hoe for like 14 years, but TLC wouldn't let her share that. In addition, she said that all those Davis ladies get it on with each other and with Nick.
Yeah.
And TLC doesn't want them to share that. Like,
Yeah.
TLC, for whatever reason, is super invested in these people being polygamists
Right.
and not polyamorous.
Right. I'm not sure why they're so invested in that specific lifestyle, but I will say, even with that added production element, for me, it makes it a little bit more entertaining because then I'm like sussing out which ones are like in it for the polyamory or which ones are actually like polygamous. So I think it's kind of interesting to like suspect it out. Whereas like with Seeking Brother Husband, all of those couples were polyamorous.
Yeah.
Like every single one. Like they were not polyandrists whatsoever, and that was annoying because it was just all a lie. Whereas I think with this, I think there are some legit polygamous couples on this, like the Merrifields for some reason. You know what I mean?
And that's my other takeaway. And I can already tell you that I don't have the words. I don't know how to articulate my deep, abiding hatred for Garrick Merrifield.
Yeah.
It didn't help that he compared himself to Jesus a couple of times in the first few episodes, or that he also brought up sperm
again
and how sperm is changing the biochemistry of women so that they can't connect with other men after 5 partners because the sperm has jacked them up and poisoned their brain. I'm just like, this guy is over the top, and the way that he's just enveloping it in Christianity.
Oh, I
It's just
know.
so distasteful to me as somebody who comes out of evangelical Christianity, and like I still consider myself to be like a Christian for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Like he's just so odious
I know.
and grotesque and unattractive
Oh,
and
I
pasty.
know.
And then there's Danielle, bitch, and I know we're getting into it, but like
Yeah.
Danielle, what are we doing here again?
I know.
Another season
Crying.
with a new Brazilian, and you're acting like you're so happy about it, and then the minute this woman gets around your husband, you're crying
I
again?
know.
Are we crying in a closet, Danielle? Why?
It's so crazy.
So I don't
to me.
understand this woman.
Yeah.
I can't stand that man.
Yeah.
And those are my takeaways.
Well, those are good takeaways. Based.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get into this. We're recapping episode 4. We will talk about some of the things that happened in the first 3 episodes, but we're just getting into the most current episode this week. We've got 5 thruple polycules, whatever you want to call it, freaky deaky family dynamics that are going on right now. So freaky. We'll start with the Davis family because we didn't see them this week,
Yeah.
but we did see them in the first couple episodes. So the Davis family, for all of y'all who aren't aware, we have Nick Davis, the unemployed philosopher and head of this family, with his 2 wives, April and Jenny, who work to provide his unemployed philosopher lifestyle.
Yes.
They all sleep in the same bed.
Huge bed that can
Custom
sleep
made.
like 5, 6, 7 people.
Yes.
Now, last year we had a third wife,
Yes.
Danielle. Her eyelashes were always hemajang, as we say in Hawaii. They were always nuts. So
Mhm.
she's left. She's had enough of these fools.
They broke up with her cordially, according to them. Yeah.
And so there's a spot available. I wonder
Yeah.
what's going to happen, Beatrice.
And they found another sister wife only 6 months after they broke things off with Danielle. And they were with her for like 2 years. 6 months, they're like, we're ready to get another woman.
Well, but it sounded like it was her. Like she was a self-starter. She
Mhm.
initiated the conversation, kind of like Mormon polygamy, where the
bit.
woman has to come out and say, I want to be a part of your
The
family.
divine testimony.
It feels like Teresa was the one who said, Nick, hoodie, I've been looking at you for 14 whole years. I've been a hoe the entire time, apparently. But I have been sexually attracted to you, Papa.
Mhm.
And I want to be a part of your family.
And so to get to know Teresa a little bit, apparently they were friends with her for many, many years. They knew about her. She has lived polygamy before, so she's been in one of these other freaky relationships in the past. Apparently it didn't work out. Teresa is an HVAC technician, but also an aspiring rapper.
Based. I love it.
Which is really fucking funny to me. But whatever. So she's super sexually attracted to Nick, and apparently to April and Jenny as well, because she went on their podcast saying that they all get freaky with each other, which I do appreciate that honesty, because we have talked about in our previous recaps of the show, like, if y'all sleeping in the same bed, like, you're definitely all fucking, right?
Or at least touching.
Yeah.
Maybe you're rubbing up on each other
Right.
a little bit. Like it's not like Nick is going from room to room. You're all in the same bed. So there's boxes out, right?
Yeah.
Boxes out.
I mean, boxes are full on out. And like, yeah, they got the boom boom room
Yeah.
where if they want to have some private freaky time, I guess. But even then, I'm like, I don't believe that. Maybe y'all are just getting freaky in the big old bed. Whatever. Listen, I don't mind them this season.
Oh, really?
I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, they seem genuinely happy. Like, especially April and Jenny. Jenny is pregnant with another baby girl. She just had one of their other
Vera.
babies a couple years ago, a couple seasons ago. So she's pregnant again. And they seem like they have like a decent dynamic. And it makes sense now that we know that they're all getting freaky with each other. Like, the women are benefiting in some other way besides from Nick's big old schlong, apparently.
And his philosophy and his past life
mind.
regressions and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't mind them. Teresa's kind of weird.
She's turbo weird, dude.
Yeah.
She's very pushy. She is bordering on a little creepy.
A little bit.
She's not overly sexualized because I'm not a prude and I don't care, but like she is very sexual, like so much so that I think she's putting Nick off a little bit.
I got
like
that too.
Nick is coming across as kind of intimidated by her.
Yeah.
And unsure about whether he wants to, everybody's unsure
Yeah.
about whether they want to be in this relationship. And my question was, well, then why'd you move the whole ass woman and her son
And
into
her
your
son.
house?
I know. And like you started dating her, and I think they've only been together for like 4-ish months or something like that. So then she's already living with y'all. Weird. Okay. And then we have Nick going on a date with her, I think in episode 3, and he's looking fly in his suit.
Oh my God.
I was laughing so hard. I'm sorry. But he's just like, he gets dressed to the nines. He goes to the restaurant with her, and he's like talking about, integrating her more into the family. And she's like, I'm so into you. And like, I only want to be with you. And like, I'm ready and I'm down to bring on another woman into this dynamic. And he's like, okay, like,
Pump the brakes a little bit.
slow your roll. And then they have a hot tub scene because, of course, we got to have.
Before we get to the hot tub, we leave the restaurant and she picks his little body up
I forgot.
and twirls him around.
I forgot. Because she's much taller than him.
Much taller, much bigger in every way. And he's just like, I swear to God, he's afraid of her.
I think so. I think he's
Mhm.
intimidated. And she's a lot. Like, she's got a lot of energy and everything. And so when they're in the hot tub and they're talking about making sweet, sweet love to each other, going to the boom boom room, we have like a little interstitial with Nick who's saying like, Teresa's very into being into our family and she seems to be getting along with us, but like we're a little hesitant and I'm a little hesitant. And he says specifically he's hesitant to be romantically involved with her. Like, he's fine in the sexual department. Like, he's got no problems with that, but he doesn't know if he's like into her in a romantic relationship wifely way, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is going to be the first lady that they like just reject and they're like, peace.
Well, like after their date, they come home and have kind of a family meeting in which Teresa brings up wanting to bring in already a fourth person, a woman, so that she can marry this person and take on the last name of Davis. And so it's giving stalker.
A little bit.
It's giving him a little bit afraid for my life right now. And we're trying to onboard you and integrate you and your son into our family. Like, let's just maybe wait a little bit before we get somebody else to come into the family. But that is kind of a stark difference from what they were doing last season, because last season they were really pressuring Danielle, the third person who Teresa has replaced, into getting a fourth person. So why are they so reticent? I think the answer is they're just reticent about Teresa.
Yeah, and I mean with Danielle, like they had been with her for a couple years at that point, so they had already established a rhythm. And so maybe Nick was like, okay, like we're kind of ready to have another person. Like, you need to be on board with it or not. And it seems like that's what happened. It seems like Danielle was like, no, I wanted to be the third and favorite wife. I'm out of here. And like, honestly, Danielle was kind of flip-flopping, especially last season, back and forth about if she wanted to be in this family and if she wanted to do this lifestyle and everything. I think she was intimidated, and now the tables have turned, and now Nick's intimidated.
It's kind of great.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't mind these people. I'm not grossed out by Nick, really. I'm not even grossed out by the girls. It seems like they have a situation and a dynamic that works pretty good for everybody. It seems like their kids are okay-ish, I don't know how it would be to be a kid living in this dynamic with their parents just all like fucking each other in the same bed.
Frightening.
Like, I can't.
What
even
happened to
imagine.
that dark-haired from last season that they were trying to incorporate into the family, into the I'm sorry. Into the hot tub and everything. She also seemed very gung-ho. Remember
the trashy one.
They were pretending to kind of soft launch her as if they just met her, but then somebody on Reddit went through Nick's Instagram and saw pictures of the dark-haired girl from like 4 years ago. There's also pictures of Teresa from a long time ago, which I think they tried to preemptively get out in front of by saying we've known her for 14 years, which is why you've seen pictures of her, which made me wonder whether they've actually all been in a relationship, polyamorous situation for a long time. I don't know.
And maybe they're just coming out for TV
The
or
show.
fame.
This
or
is what I mean when I'm like, I'm just sniffing some producer stuff. Yeah.
I could definitely see that. But you know what? I'm personally not minding it.
Yeah.
I think it's trashy. It's ridiculous. I love the hot tub scenes with their big asses just in the water.
Booty soup.
Bouncing on Nick and straddling his tiny little body. I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny.
God.
Oh, man. All right. So we didn't see them this week. So moving on
Mhm.
to this current episode, we start with our favorite, the Merrifields. And just to recap everybody, Garrick is a big fucking creep. He is a degenerate, and he's got a fetish for Brazilian women for some reason. He has had multiple failed relationships where he has brought these women on K1 visas. They take their money, and then they promptly go back to Brazil after they realize that Garrick is a total fucking weirdo. But
And so is Danielle.
oh, she's just as weird.
Mhm.
She's just as weird. And so the first 3 episodes were them picking up their new Brazilian sister wife named Lorena, who's another 20-something who doesn't speak a lick of English. I mean, she speaks a little bit, like barely
Hardly any.
anything. They're
Yeah.
using a fucking translator app again to talk to
Mhm.
her. And of course, Garrick is so deeply in love with her. He's already baptized her. He's already proposed to her.
So this is what it is. This is where I get derailed. That this man baptizes her in the Bahamas
I
and
know.
then promptly just shags the F out of her. But like, how do you make this work actually? Because you baptized her and then you've banged her.
Yeah.
You haven't married her yet. Why is that okay? Aren't you supposed to marry them first and then bang them in the eyes of God? Or is it because it's you, Garrick, and you think you are your own personal Jesus that you can just do whatever the heck you want to do and it doesn't matter? It's like, so to me, like if you're really a Christian though, it's blasphemous.
It totally
It's
is.
heretical. Like
Yes.
it's got to be based like foundationally upon a scripture or something. And I get it. There's a lot of polygamy in the Bible. There's a lot of King David with his multiple wives and King Solomon with his 900 concubines
Yeah.
and Father Abraham had 2 wives and so on and so forth. Like this is a precedent that's in the Bible, but you have to have like a foundational scripture to justify the way that you're doing it.
Exactly.
Just because you say that God's cool with it,
Right.
God's cool with it though, doesn't mean that God's actually cool with it.
No. But like Garrick is so fucking delusional. Like I think he has scripted all of this around biblical scripture, fake scripture or whatever to try and convince Danielle to be okay with it because he's like, it's a religious testimony that I need to cheat on you with Brazilian women in their 20s.
In their bikinis.
Like in their bikinis. And like, I think he has said before in previous seasons that once he fucks them after baptizing them, that means they're actually married. So that's what he thinks. Like he thinks that they're already married. And so now that he's bringing Lorena back to the States on a K1 visa, then they have 90 days to like actually legally solidify it. And then it'll be legit for real.
But if you're an actual Christian, and so maybe this is
Right.
the question, like, do we think Garrick thinks he's a Christian? If you're an actual Christian, aren't you a little bit worried about doing it the wrong way? You're on a national television show telling people that this is the way that God wants it. Like, you're leading people astray. Like, you should
Yeah.
be afraid if you're really a Christian.
Oh, I agree.
In my opinion.
100%. I think he's just full on cope because he's just so horny. Like he just wants to fuck anybody other than Danielle. And that's what's so crazy about it. And then he has this delusional stuff about sperm. Like he said, it was in like episode 3 or something where he said, if a woman has more than 5 male partners, she's too full of sperm and therefore can't connect with anybody on an emotional level anymore because the sperm has just rotted her brain. And I'm like, is this what you really believe?
How convenient though, right? A guy can just jizz up the joint.
Right.
He can just spray it wherever he wants.
Yeah.
And he's never going to be affected or overwhelmed by the sperm.
Yeah.
But if it's a woman and we're the receptacle for this sperm, somehow the sperm integrates into our consciousness and contaminates us so that we can only ever sleep with 5 or less people.
Yeah.
That sounds great for you, Garrick.
I remember texting you over the weekend, like, you're too full of sperm because you've
I
had
know.
more than 5 partners.
That's why
You're
I can't
defective.
connect. I can't connect to anything. I'm barely tethered to this reality.
Oh my
Because of all the jizz up in me and in my brain.
I'm laughing about it because it's just so absolutely absurd, but like this guy genuinely thinks it. And so then when we see them this week in episode 4, we have Lorena. She's already established, like they're sightseeing around beautiful, and Danielle pronounces it wrong. She goes Buena.
I know.
Buena Vista.
Yeah.
It's Buena Vista, but whatever. They're sightseeing around their town that they're in, and Lorena is totally in culture shock because she's from Rio de Janeiro, where everything is completely compact and like you have access to all of this shopping and the beaches and like all of this culture and liveliness, and you're in fucking the middle of Buena Vista, Colorado.
You're in Whiteyville.
Yeah. She's worried because she's not seeing a lot of people of color, and that's really concerning.
Valid.
And is Garrick concerned about that? No.
No.
Because he just wants to fuck her, and that's all he cares
Yeah,
about.
but they're all nice, though. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Yeah, everybody's white.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're all great. They're going to love you. Don't worry about it.
And so as we're sightseeing around their town, we actually learn that Garrick is 5th or 6th generation Buena Vistan. So, like, his family came over here as miners, and a miner. They came over here as miners, and they like basically helped establish the town. And so his family has been here for generation upon generation, and they're like traveling around the streets, and Danielle's like, oh yeah, Garrick's family lives down this way, but
they settled this town.
Yeah, which is crazy. And apparently Garrick's family has completely disowned him because he's a degenerate freak.
Because he's a polygamist. And then here again, Garrick compares himself to Jesus, like his hometown doesn't accept him, just like Jesus, when Jesus said a prophet is never accepted in his hometown. Like, oh, wow.
I was guffawing when I watched that this morning. I'm like, oh my God, this guy again. He's done this multiple times. He thinks he's God. And I mean, really though, like, you're in this mansion, you're siphoning all this money from your wife's family business and this construction business, which we've talked about on previous recaps and everything. And like, you have this delusional wife who is going along with your crazy cheating scam of you getting to spend all of this money flying out these Brazilian babes.
Getting them their visas, which is like multiple tens of thousands of dollars. Yep. Not to mention you traveling to Brazil, going to the Bahamas.
Exactly.
And all of that entails.
And she's just going along with it because you said that it's from God. And like, he probably does think he's a god because he's able to do all of this. And that's what's so crazy. I think it's crazy.
I feel like they're sex traffickers. And I think Danielle is a co-sex trafficker. She's the Ghislaine Maxwell of this whole operation.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like you're sex trafficking women into the United States, and or you're trying to. Like, I feel like there's some criminality that's actually involved here. And I think that you guys are wicked.
Yeah.
Danielle, I'm not buying it, honey. I just feel like you have no self-esteem, no self-worth. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. But you're also wicked if you're abetting your husband in sex trafficking women to the United States so he can bang them and then discard them.
I mean, that's what it's giving, because like you're bringing them from this very specific country, this area of the world. They're all in a very specific age demographic. They're all in their like early to mid 20s, and Garrick's like what, approaching 40?
40s.
Like dude, this guy. Every interstitial that we have with him where he's like standing candidly, like he's got his big old belly,
total dad bod,
and his skinny jeans,
vacant stare.
I can't.
All he cares about is his dick. He's completely and thoroughly animated by his little man dick.
It's wild. And like, what's even crazier for me about the Merrifields is Danielle's family, because you can see like Danielle's brother has met all of these Brazilian women, and every time we see him on this show, he looks so dejected, and he looks so like, what the fuck am I even doing here? Like, he looks at Garrick like he's a total freak, because he is, and nobody approves of his lifestyle, but they're all like pretending for the cameras, or like maybe they're pretending for the sake of Danielle, but it's just like crazy.
Well, but her brother Sam has also hitched his business wagon to Garrick, and they are in business together. And one of Sam's chief concerns is the fact that Garrick is such a fool. He won't get a proper prenup. He won't consult with an attorney. He won't get the proper paperwork. He's up on LegalZoom or whatever, trying to figure out his own paperwork. So he's going to fuck it up, which means that Sam, who is in a partnership with him, stands to have his entire business screwed with, because if something happens to Garrick, well, Garrick has divorced Danielle, so Danielle is not going to inherit the business. His current Chippy from Brazil is going to inherit the business, and that would be Lorena. So where does that leave Sam? Like, Garrett doesn't care about anybody but himself.
No, he doesn't
This is
at
why
all.
I don't think he's an actual Christian, because real
No.
Christians are supposed to be motivated by love and care and compassion for
Mhm.
others. I know that's rare,
I know,
but that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he's not giving any of that. And then there's
Not at all.
Danielle's weird parents who are also living with her.
I know.
So they have to pretend that this is okay. And then there are the two sons.
I know, those kids. It's so crazy. Like, the earlier seasons, these kids were a lot younger, and we've talked about, like, how it's kind of worrisome that they're experiencing this and they're watching their dad act this way, but now they're in their teenagehood, approaching young adulthood, and they're just going to emulate, they're just going to follow their father's footsteps, and it's so gross. So then we move on to a few of our newer couples or newer thruples.
Wait, we didn't get to the closet. Do we want to talk about the closet? Moving
What?
into the room?
That what she
Well,
cries
Danielle
again?
cries. That's the problem.
I don't care.
So we're moving Lorena into the closet because she's here to take up space.
Into
Danielle, did you
Garrick's
not
room.
know that? Was
Yeah.
that not part of your consciousness when
Right.
we were inviting this young woman over to your house, that she's now going to have to live in your house? And so we're making some space for Lorena in the walk-in closet. And Danielle, predictably, insufferably, starts to cry again.
I know.
Like, as if she couldn't anticipate that this was going to happen. And then Danielle sleeps with Garrick on her birthday. And then the next night, it's Lorena's turn to sleep with Garrick.
about that,
And
yeah.
we've got this shot of Danielle in the sister-wife room, all forlorn and sad, because Garrick is totally banging out Lorena's back, and
For
she
sure.
knows it. But, like, at this point, Danielle, you deserve it.
I
You get
mean-
what you settle for. You're a Ghislaine Maxwell sex trafficker. I have no sympathy for you. Your tears are lost on me. You're repugnant.
I mean, really, like, they've been doing this for, I think they said 6 years now. So, like, they've been doing it with, we've seen it,
I'm sick of
obviously. We've seen it with Natalia. We've seen it with Roberta. And now we have Lorena. And you're going to cry each and every fucking time that you have to move out of Garrick's room into the
Mhm.
sister room. That's literally what you built your house for.
Yeah.
Was for Garrick
Nobody
to have
feels
multiple
sorry
wives.
for you. Are we
No.
Are we supposed
I don't
to
feel sorry at all.
I don't feel sorry for you at all.
I used to in the earlier seasons
No.
when this first happened.
She's
and,
a
like,
predator.
She was adjusting to it, but now it's like, this is a pattern. This is something that your husband has a fetish
You
for.
can't tell me she don't want to eat the box too.
I
You
mean,
can't tell me she don't want her box ate.
I feel like
I believe
she does.
there are some either subconscious or
Mhm.
conscious impulses for that as well. So
There
she
has
wants
to
to
be.
connect as sisters, but also as sisters.
I think so, because she's probably not getting anything really from Garrick. And
No.
why would you even want it?
I don't know.
I feel like I have a theory that once these Brazilians come to America and they have to, like, actively, like, live with Garrick and have sex with him, like, multiple times, they start getting super grossed out and they're like, I can't do this. Not for all the money in the world. Like,
Not
I would
for
rather go back to
security,
Rio.
not for money,
Yeah.
not for my family, not for anything.
I mean, would you?
No.
I would rather have, like, an 85-year-old man, like, being a sugar baby to an 85-year-old man,
Yeah.
all wrinkly and pruny,
Right.
than Garrick Merrifield.
I would rather shove a chopstick right into my eyeball
That too.
and in my ear and up my cooter.
That too.
Absolutely not.
I agree. All right, so now moving on to the newer thruple
Sure.
polycules or whatever that we're getting this season. We have, first off, Matt and Angelica Johnson, who are from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And just to recap from the first couple episodes, they have lived together for 15 years, but have only been married for 5. They have 2 kids together. Angelica was actually the one that initiated the sister-wife dynamic. It kind of was giving to me like she was over having sex with her husband or something and was like, dude, I cannot be your one and only all the time. Like, let's get you some other women to fuck so I can have a break.
Well, for me, it was giving I have no friends. And I would really like to have a girlfriend, not necessarily a sexual one, although the jury's out. But like, I just don't have any friends. And I've got these 2 kids and this big bulbous man that I'm married to. And it'd be great to just have a friend. And so that was her motivation. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I can see that too. And so she gave Matt kind of the initiative to go on the apps and go on the prowl and start dating other people. And so then they ended up meeting this chick named Shanae, who has been their current girlfriend for the last like couple years. She lives kind of far away from them. So every time Matt connects with her. He has to like get a hotel with her, like she's like some hooker. It's kind of weird. But they've been together for about a couple years. She's really good friends with Angelica, and they seem to have a pretty good dynamic, but shit's getting a little dicey because Shanae wants more of a connection with Matt and obviously wants to be more like a girlfriend to him than rather than a hookup that he just comes and sees whenever he has time for. And so then in this current episode, we get more information from Shanae. So Shanae ends up driving over to their house to discuss the relationship. She kind of talked about it with Matt in the previous episode. She's like, I just want more. In this episode, she has an interstitial where she's like, you know, it'd be better if like he could just, I don't know, give me a good morning text or something, or like send me some flowers.
So he's not even texting her.
Yeah.
Like there's no connection, no communication. He's just like, hey, I can meet you at the Motel 6 at 10 p.m. Let's bang it out.
Yeah.
And that's all she's getting.
That's what it seems like.
The underlying reason she's showing up this morning for this scene is because she wants to tell them something that they don't know, which is that she has met somebody else.
Yikes.
Some guy who is asking her not to continue her physical relationship at this time with Matthew while they are exploring whatever it is that they are and where it's going to go. Shanae has agreed to that and is breaking the news to Matthew and Angelica that she's found somebody else. And she's very interested in this scene to see how Matthew reacts. And initially, his reaction is very subdued. It's not that he doesn't care, but it's almost like he's like, well, okay, well, we'll work it out. As long as I can continue to meet you at the Motel 6 at 10 p.m. every other Wednesday, I'll be fine. But it's not going to be able to work that way because she's setting this boundary of, well, we can't have sex in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck him. And then he gets mad.
Yeah. He also gets mad that he learned that Shanae and the other guy are having sex too. Like they have become intimate at this point. And so now like the guy is like, well, if we're going to continue this relationship, you need to stop fucking Matt. And that's where Matt starts getting mad because he's like possessive over Shanae.
So I wish TLC would go into deeper reasons for polygamy here. Like, why is it okay for just Matt to bang?
I know, yeah.
Why can't Angelica bang? Or can she? And maybe she chooses not to because, like you said, she's just tired of servicing Matt and like go date whoever you want. And it does sound like he's been on the apps and he's been dating other people, but Angelica hasn't. Now, is that because he's like, no, only I can?
Yeah.
Because he gets mad and he gets territorial when Shanae's like, yeah, I did sleep with this other person and I can't sleep with you. And that's the thing that tips him over into emotion.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, what kind of self-respecting woman is in a relationship with a guy who feels like he can go out, bang whoever he wants, but that you have to sit home with the kids and you can't date too?
Yeah, that makes no sense unless she wants that. Like, unless she's just like, I'm over it. Like, I'm just going to be a mom. Let me just have a friend. Like, I don't care.
But it's all these new women.
Right.
All of them are agreeing to this. And my question is, why?
See, that's where it's like there's some producer fakery.
Yeah.
Like for Matt and Angelica, I could see a world where like maybe they're swingers or something. Maybe she hooks up with Shanae every once in a while. Maybe it's not all the time.
Then let's talk about that.
Right. Like I would like to
let's
know.
not pretend that this is a valid reason to have this arrangement without talking about it more. Like, is there a religious component? At least with fake asshole ass Garrick, he's pretending he's a Christian and God is telling him to do this. But like with these other couples, I'm just like, so the guys just get to go out and screw whoever they want and the women are just like, oh, well, I'm going to stay home with the kids and just get jealous, I guess.
Well, and like with some of these other couples, it's definitely like the man is the one that's suggesting it because he wants to cheat. And so he wants a vehicle to be able to cheat in a ethical way. With this couple, it's weird because Angelica's the one that's initiated it and she was the one that was like, get on the apps, like I don't care what you do, we have like no boundaries. Like she seems very lax about it, so it's kind of giving to me like swinger vibes, and maybe she gets into it every now and then, but she's like kind of whatever about it.
I guess all I know is when Shanae leaves, Angelica's really upset. She's like, Matt, you're going to have to do something. And to the camera, she's like crying. She's like, I just don't know what my life's going to be like without Shanae. Like, she's my friend. I care about her. And I'm just like, okay.
Maybe eat the box.
Something's happening in the box.
Is
there a box out?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Every now and again we get the boxes
That's
out.
what I'm thinking.
I just wondering.
Maybe some bisexual vibes.
Maybe.
Like, I could see that. Like,
I
why
could
are you
see that too.
crying? You know?
But let's talk about it. That
Right.
would make this infinitely more interesting.
I agree completely. Next couple that we have is Billie Jean and Reese.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. That's all we'll say about
Theater
that.
kids.
Yeah, and choir kids. They're from Indiana.
Flamboyant.
Reese is very flamboyant. So they've been together for about 7 years, but married for 4. They have a couple kids together. They met in high school theater choir or something, and it's really giving theater kids. Like, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. But Reese seems kind of nice, I guess.
He seems gay, honey. Let's not pretend that we're not a little gay.
I
He seems
mean,
really a little gay to me. And that's great. I love gay people.
look, and he even says that. He's like, people always assume that I'm gay. And even like Billie Jean's like, you know, he's just kind of got a flamboyant personality. And I'm actually the one that's pretty spicy. He's very vanilla when it comes to things. She says she wants this because she had a lot of trouble conceiving and actually had to go through IVF to have their kids together. She wants a big family, and she thinks that the only way to do that is to have sister wives, where Reese apparently jizzes in all these women and has kids with all of them. So what it's giving to me is I'm wondering if she's like a dominatrix type of thing. Maybe she's like super like dominant in the bedroom, and maybe that's why Reese is kind of, and like maybe she pegs him.
It doesn't seem like he really wants to do this. It seems like he's
weird.
doing it for her.
Yeah.
Furthermore, it doesn't seem like a very wise choice to like onboard a bunch of other women who are then gonna be concubines and have the children of Reese, who doesn't really want to do this. And so if he doesn't really want to do this, then that relationship is not likely going to last, which means those children are just going to be taken away from you. So like, I don't understand why you wouldn't just want to adopt, because it seemed to me your premise was you wanted more kids, but you can't have them. Well, you could always foster, you could always adopt. There's other things that you can do instead of bringing in additional women, unless you're a little bit of the lesbianic.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's be honest with each other.
That's
what it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So when I was watching them, that was my whole vibe. I'm like, she's in it for some sexual gain or something, because she had literally said, I think it was on the first episode, like, I'm more adventurous when it comes to sex. I'm like super spicy, and I'm very kinky, and he's very vanilla, and like I'm gonna have to be the one that is like his wing woman and like try and get these women to date him and stuff, because he's so like weird. It's like kind of the subtext that like women aren't going to be into him. I don't know. They're kind of an odd dynamic.
Well, and I'm already bored though, because every single scene with them is them just telling other people that they're polygamist or that they're seeking a sister wife. And like we've done this for multiple seasons with Cody Brown and his family telling everybody and their brother that they're polygamists. And we saw this in Poly Family, which was a terrible show, but like they were constantly telling their family that they or the yoga studio person that they were poly. Like nobody I don't care.
Right.
And so if every single scene we have is you breaking the news to the new person in the garden center that you're going to seek a sister wife, then I'm out with y'all.
All right. And then the last couple that we have.
I hate this guy. Yesel.
I hate him.
I hate this
so
guy.
fucking much.
He's just a cheater.
So we have Danny and Yesel. They're from Connecticut. And they've been together for 4.5 years. They have 4 children, but 2 of them are from Yesel's previous
cheating ass hoe
baby mamas. Oh my God. Yesel apparently travels a lot for work. Sometimes he's gone for months at a time. And so they want to get a sister wife, mainly for Danny, so that way she's not lonely when he's gone traveling.
So why can't you just get a man then?
I mean,
why is it got to be a woman?
Unless she's gay.
I don't think she's gay though.
But
so like
not.
It sounds to me like he's only allowing it to be a woman so that he could get the benefit of banging that woman.
Right.
But if Danny's lonely and if you're leaving her for half of the year or whatever it is, then let her have a man.
I mean,
it's just misogyny. I get to bang the women.
Mm-hmm.
I get to do what I want. I get to have an instrument for my pleasure.
And he's
sorry about it.
He is so disrespectful about it because he was the one that suggested it. Apparently he had a whole fucking PowerPoint presentation telling Danny why polygamy is the right choice for them. And so begrudgingly, Danny agrees to it. But like her only stipulation is that, can you just involve me though? Like, can I just know when you're on the apps? Can I be involved in the messages? Can I know who the woman is? Like, I want to feel comfortable with this new chick that you're going to be banging. But does Yesel do any of that? No, because their first fucking polygamous experiment that they do, he fucks it up because he like goes on the apps without her knowing. He ends up hooking up with a woman without Danny knowing.
His friend that he knew from high school.
Right.
It's like all of those posts that we read on Reddit where the guy asks to open the marriage because he's getting a little bored with his wife, but he's already got somebody in mind. And in fact, he's already been banging her for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just a cheating cheater who cheats. That's what it is giving with Yesel.
It's exactly what it is. And so Danny's already hurt from their first experience with polygamy that went wrong because he ended up
cheating,
making a mistake and cheated on her with this high school friend. And so then now they're trying to seek a sister wife again together, but he's again already on the apps without Danny knowing. He's already browsing at all of the fresh new women that apparently want to fuck him, which I'm just like,
ew.
You ain't no prize,
Ew.
dude. You're gross to me. And Danny is uncomfortable by it, but like still trying to go with it because she loves him for some
Danny,
reason.
who hurt you?
I mean, really.
Danny, what is broken inside you? Danny, are you pursuing therapy because you clearly do not want to be in this situation?
Mm-mm.
You need to control it down to the most finest point, but that's because you don't want it and you're looking for anything to disqualify it. Just say you don't want it. Just say you can't do it. For some reason, you can't do that with Yesel. So maybe get a therapist, honey, so that you can get out of this very toxic situation.
I mean, really, like there's a scene in one of the previous episodes where she's telling Yesel like her boundary is that she doesn't want him to have another child with another woman because I guess she's done having children or she can't conceive anymore or something. And all she wanted was a baby girl. She never got that. She only had a couple boys. And she gets super emotional because she's like, just the thought of you like conceiving a child with another woman and having it be a girl, like that's my dream, like I can't see that. And I'm like, girl, you need to dump this man, throw him in the trash, let him be a Lothario and like have a bunch of baby mamas and stuff. Like you need to get somebody who actually values you,
cares about you,
and cares about your emotions. And like she's beautiful,
she is gorgeous. And when she's saying that to him, does he say, sweet, absolutely, because I get to have a partner, I get to bang who I want, and all you're saying is I don't have to have a baby with this person? No problem. But no. Instead, he's like, well, I mean, they should be able to have a voice.
Right.
And if we want to have a child together, like, should we really tell them that they can't? And just like, oh my God, looking a gift horse in the mouth. And also you're scum of the earth, like every other man on this show.
And like the other weird thing about their dynamic is that Danny is best friends with one of Yesel's baby mamas, Leia. Because I think he's got 2 baby mamas. I don't think it's just one. But anyway, Leia is like deeply intertwined into their lives because Yesel and her have a child together. But like she's best friends with Danny. And Danny's like trying to express to her that she's kind of uncertain and uncomfortable about this whole dynamic. But like, is Leia being a girl's girl and telling her, you should dump this guy because he's just a cheater? No, she's just like,
well, maybe she's doing it behind the scenes and maybe she's doing this for the cameras. But we do see in the next episode that she's pretty base. So hopefully she comes through for our girl, Danny.
And in this week's episode, we have Danny and Yesel talking about this new chick that Yesel met named Jackie.
Who's a catfish.
I mean, right?
Come on
I
now.
was seeing those dating app profile pictures and they're all face tuned to hell. And then we actually see her at their date or whatever. I'm like,
and she keeps like pushing her hair. That's like me pushing your hair. Like, yeah, no, this is my actual face. This is the shape of my face. What?
What? I look exactly like my picture. And I guess they have a group chat going with Jackie. And this is what Danny has stipulated makes her feel comfortable, is like just being involved in the conversations. But like Yesel is already stomping on that boundary and like having side texts with Jackie where he's like very obviously sexting her or like sending dirty photos or
being
something.
Being
inappropriate. Danny doesn't realize that and finds out about it and is again hurt. And I'm like, girl, how many more signs are you going to have
A million.
before you
Enough for
realize,
a whole show.
I just don't understand. So then they end up going on a date with Jackie, and Jackie is like nice enough, but she's kind of pushy. And I guess she's lived or been in polygamous relationships before, or polyamorous relationships before, but they haven't worked out. And so she's coming into this date being like, look, I want equal decision making, I want structure. And Yesel and Danny are like, cool, bet, that's what we want too. And then she's like, but I'm also a very sexual person. I love sex. It's like my bread and butter. I love it so much. And so, like, are you gonna be okay, Danny, if I'm like fucking your husband multiple times a day?
And Yesel is sitting there like, oh yeah, no,
I'm
sex
hard
is
right now.
absolutely so important. I'm 100% on board with that. And then pan over to Danny, and Danny's like,
uncomfortable.
I mean, but at the same time, Danny, have you not thought this through? What did you think was going to happen? I mean, he's going to have, this is the only reason he's doing it, so that he can have sex with these women.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he even says it on their talking head. He's like, yeah, Jackie's got a great bod. She's like got big old tits and a big old ass.
When they sit down, he's like, yeah, we should get the mac and cheese, or however he introduces this. And then he asks Jackie, like, do you know what mac and cheese noises are?
I couldn't.
You know, in the bedroom. I'm paraphrasing.
But that's exactly what he said.
Yes. I'm just like, how gross.
Yeah.
How frat boy.
Disgusting.
How teenage boy. How immature. What have you got to offer? What kind of job do you have? How are you going to be taking care of these women? Do you think you're just your dick? You absolute nefarious, odious piece of crap. I don't like you, Yesel.
I don't like him at all. And I forgot that was the title of this episode this week. It was mac and cheese noises. And I'm like watching the whole episode and I'm like, when are we going to get to that point? And it was literally him bringing it up and saying that's what sex sounds like.
At the dinner table.
Ew. How old are you?
Wants a man like that.
Seriously. And you know that like he's probably like on the oil rigs or something. If he's gone for like months at a time. Like, you know, he's out fucking hookers and stuff too, because once Danny gives him the green light for this whole polygamy thing, like, you know, that's what he's doing. This isn't just a dynamic to give Danny a friend while you're gone. Like, this is so you can have the license to cheat and fuck other women.
But not Danny. Danny can't have a boyfriend. Danny can't have a partner while you're gone because it's misogyny. Yeah. And because y'all are disgusting.
He is so disgusting.
And Danny's broken. And for some reason, Danny feels like this is what she deserves.
Yeah.
And she's just going to make herself okay with it, even though all of us can see that she's incredibly insecure. And that's because her husband has cheated on her already. Multiple times.
Yeah.
Probably more than the high school person. Probably multiple times. I'm like, I get why you're insecure, but like, you're going to have to at some point advocate for yourself and get out of the situation. Your husband ain't shit.
And that's what's so weird about this show is that you have couples like this where it's very obvious that there's a discrepancy, like there's an inequality in this dynamic. Like, it is so misogynistic on Danny and Yesel's part. But then you have like the Davis family who are pretending to be polygamous, but like they're all fucking each other and they're all like enjoying it and everything. So like, it's interesting.
But they're equal.
Yes.
And they're all agreeing. It's all consensual. Everybody's okay with it.
Exactly. So it's just, it makes for an interesting, weird, trashy show. Yeah, there are some producer moments for sure. And I don't really like that. But at the same time, like, these characters are so absurd that I do enjoy it. But I hate Yesel.
Yeah.
And so then we have the preview for next week. We have Lorena, who wants to bring her family to America for their K1 visa.
So overwhelming. I'm so overwhelmed.
And this is so fucked up because she wants to bring her family for the wedding so she can have a celebration. And Danielle is like, it's too much though, because they would have to foot the bill.
Correct.
And they don't want to have to spend the money. And it's kind of unfair to Lorena because she's coming here with nobody. All she wants is people that speak her fucking language, for God's sakes. And Danielle's like, nah. And then we have Teresa telling Nick that he's the last person, the last man she ever wants to make love to and ever wants to be with. And she's like, I want to marry you. I want to be a part of this family.
I want to be a Davis.
I want to be a Davis. And I think she talks about changing her last name. So maybe they said no to the fourth sister wife, but she's like, but how about I just change my last name though?
God, desperado.
Hecka desperate. And then we have Jackie meeting Yesel's ex-baby mama, Leia. And Leia seems like she's not going to be into this hoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Matt from the Johnson family. Matt saying that he is dating a new chick.
He's
now.
already with somebody new.
I guess Shanae is out of the picture. And so now they're dating a new chick and she's a witch. And Angelica's not okay with it.
Angelica's like, what are we doing right now? I don't get it. That was funny. I did laugh.
That was pretty great.
Yeah. Well, I am feeling optimistic about the new season. I mean, I think there are some people who will inspire within me a holy rage that I will not be able to contain or contend with. But at the same time, I'm entertained.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's trashy.
It is.
I love it.
Well, is there anything else that we should say to these beautiful regulars before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please show your support by going to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It costs you nothing, but it really helps us grow the pod so more people can join us in the dumpster, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
We'll be back next week to talk Sister Wives Hoodie, and we'll continue our journey with Seeking Sister Wife. Until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace